Most games nowadays, games with combat especially, feature some sort of boss fight. A brute force test of player skill, a robust assessment of upgrades and augmentations, a cat and mouse encounter against an overpowered foe. However, not all combat-centric games rely on this trope. There are tons of great games out there that had next to no boss fights. Distinct, memorable, narratively significant encounters, sure, but not something that can be called a true brute force test. Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. There isn't a heap of enemy variety in Nathan Drake's first outing in Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Mercs and pirate types aside, the monster-like infected descendants at least provide a terrifying alternative when they first arrive. Their persistence does start to wane though, but still, the game excels as a piece of cinematic storytelling more than anything, and the descendants provide a firm narrative backbone to support ultimate final boss Atok Navarro's stance that the pathogen which formed the descendants is far more valuable than any golden treasure. Drake and Navarro's showdown is more a standoff than a battle. Drake waits for him to reload, edges closer in 3 movements, a brief bit of hand-to-hand, QTE, and done. Far Cry 2. Yet another excellent game that doesn't really have a boss battle. It has enemies, of course, some weaker, some stronger, but in a genre where there are at least 1 or 2 boss fights, Far Cry 2 stands alone. The assassination of the game's faction bosses and old lieutenants is rudimentary, with primary antagonist the Jackal, the arms dealer whom your mercenary was originally hired to kill, serving more as a narrative think piece as the story goes on. He's someone believed to be bad by profiting from death, but that's exactly what you do in order to get close to him. A final showdown wouldn't make sense in this context. Prey 2017. Prey 2017 has no boss fights whatsoever. Sure, the substantially dangerous form of Typhon the Nightmare perpetually antagonizes the player throughout the game, but the fact that killing it is optional, either slay or evade, means that it can't be considered a true boss fight. It'll respawn anyway, whatever you do. The most humongous of all Typhon, the Apex, doesn't need to be fought in the traditional sense either. There are 2 ways to kill it. 1. Self-destruct Talos 1, and 2. Detonate the Coral to destroy the Apex without damaging Talos 1. Even central antagonist Walter Dahl doesn't need to be killed, with distinct outcomes depending on whether you choose to kill or stun him. The Last of Us.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him. Don't waste this gift, Joel.
Another Naughty Dog entry on this rundown. Plainly, the studio just isn't that fond of boss battles, and this is true of their zombie-ravaged post-apocalyptic Survivathon series, the horrifying Rat King from The Last of Us 2 aside. Joel and Ellie's first outing sees the pair face off in arena-type locales against overpowered enemies. The bloaters in the school gymnasium and the creepy hotel basement spring to mind. But these are strong, recurring enemies, consistent with the time frame in which the host has been infected, according to The Last of Us lore. The one possible exception is in Ellie's battle with David inside the burning restaurant. It's a one-on-one battle of wits, but Ellie at the time doesn't have any of her inventory, so it can be argued this encounter is not a true boss fight. Red Dead Redemption. Like Naughty Dog, Rockstar are a studio which by and large eschew boss battles in their open-world games. Red Dead Redemption is no different. There are no major boss fights to speak of. Central antagonists Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, and Dutch van der Linde, whom John Marston is forced into hunting down across the vast Wild West, don't have final encounters resembling boss fights. The only encounter close to a boss fight is Jack Marston's duel with Bureau of Investigation ringleader Edgar Ross, but this is just a duel, a dishonorable one for Ross, but a commonplace duel all the same. This encounter only has notoriety for the gravitas of revenge attuned to it by John's son Jack. Grand Theft Auto 4. The only conceivable boss fight in Grand Theft Auto history is the showdown with Big Smoke in GTA San Andreas. All other fights, even against central antagonists, are gunfights or chases against narratively significant adversaries, but they're not stronger than regular enemies. Nico's final showdown and execution of Pegorino, accessible via the revenge ending option, is a thrilling chase sequence rather than a one-on-one boss fight. Prior to this, Nico's final encounter with Major Tormentor Dmitry Raskolov involves sneaking through the decks and cargo holds of the Platypus, with a brief cutscene emerging once Nico has wiped out all of Raskolov's goons.
Survival of the fittest thing really meant a lot to you.
Come on, Nico, man. Get out here. Let's go. Come on. Wagwan. Come on, let's go.
Roman never hurt anyone.
I know.
Watch Dogs 2. Another game with next to no boss-like encounters in this rundown, this hacktivism sequel takes a more nuanced approach to dealing with its antagonists. Case in point, Mark Thruss's comeuppance comes when player character Marcus Holloway downloads and releases evidence of vote rigging before Election Day. Bloom Corporation's CTO and chief antagonist Dusan Nemec's downfall comes after Marcus infiltrates Bloom HQ and steals data corroborating DedSec's accusation of Nemec's wrongdoing. Henceforth, he rots in jail forever. Alien Isolation. Yeah, you're probably thinking that Alien Isolation is a game with a boss encounter. The persistently stalking xenomorph is surely the boss, right? Well, yeah, maybe. However, there's no distinct boss battle or one-on-one fighting section to speak of. The xenomorph, truth be told, is so overpowered it's an unkillable nemesis. So dangerous, in fact, it's more prudent to run and hide than face it head-on. You'll only lose. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.